So today's video is going to be more of an open letter to the DNC. Now, I haven't yet really spoken specifically about the Yang Media Blackout or hashtag Yang Media Blackout, where we have consistently seen everything from blatant omissions of Yang's name, how he's being left off of graphics that they're displaying on different networks. And I just got an email yesterday again saying that Yang is still being omitted. And I just want to say that this is going to cost the DNC the next election. I've tried to be fairly objective, you know what I mean? Like I said, Yang doesn't have every answer. There's definitely questions I have about policies, but at the same time, I'm willing to support him to get him in a position where he can have like a moment to really explain himself, to answer additional questions, where we can actually have like a real debate between him and some of the leaders in the party. And specifically, when I was talking about the climate change debate, I could have brought up the fact that Kamala Harris said leaders have to lead like 48 times when she was trying to explain her policies during her segment on the climate change town hall. I could have did that. Or I could have talked about the fact that Joe Biden was not only stumped by one of the questions completely, that kind of borderlined on embarrassing when he was called out for going to a fundraiser hosted by a fossil fuel industry executive. I didn't bring that up. I didn't bring up the fact that he was having trouble with mostly every other question, and he appeared to have some kind of issue going on with his eye. I didn't bring up any of that. I focused on Yang. I tried to keep it positive. But what the DNC is continuing to do is the same thing they did to Bernie Sanders in the last election, and that's why they lost. You didn't lose the last election because Donald Trump was a superior candidate. You lost the last election because you lost the trust of the people. Bernie Sanders faced very similar issues, like an uphill battle going against Clinton in the last election cycle, to the point where many Americans, myself included, just didn't feel like voting. Like, we didn't care who won, and many of us kind of thought, you know what, maybe this anti-establishment, just non-political figure might be worth having as president. Maybe he messes things up so bad that maybe next time around, the parties get it together. Like, maybe this is the wake-up call we need. Here we are a few years later, getting ready to do the exact same thing again. And I'm making this video because I want the DNC to know that if what has been happening to Andrew Yang continues to happen, the same thing that looks like it's happening to Tulsi Gabbard right now, where these other candidates are being unfairly treated by the media, by the DNC, when it comes time to vote against Trump, because it seems like that's the main position that many of the candidates are running on. They're just not Trump. Instead of having policies that are better than Trump's, they're just simply saying that we're not Trump. Well, that's not going to cut it. And it's not going to make me want to vote. I'm not motivated enough just to vote against Trump. Like, that's not enough. If we're in a position where we are right now, and you can't seem to allow us to bring up some new ideas and some new candidates and some people who maybe are a little bit different than the typical candidate, if you're not going to give them a legitimate chance, even though they probably will still lose. Yang isn't at like 22% and you're trying to hold him down. Yang hasn't even cracked 10%. And you're making it seem like he's neck and neck with the front runners. He's not. And honestly, Joe Biden shouldn't be concerned about Yang because he seems to be having his own issues that he needs to deal with. Honestly, all he really has to do is give coherent thoughts, get up there, shake some hands, smile at the fans, and say President Obama a couple of times, and he'll probably still win. And if that happens, he's just going to go to the general and he's going to lose. Biden doesn't motivate people. No one's excited to vote for Joe Biden. Like, I mean, that's just the truth. They're not. And if the DNC wants to win this next election, you're going to need some type of excitement. You're going to need, at one point, to bring the supporters of all these other candidates together to try to defeat Donald Trump. But if it's Sanders, he's going to need those Yang supporters. If it's Warren, she's going to need those Yang supporters. Like, no matter who the DNC sends to the general, they're going to need every bit of support they can get. There's really only a few people in this election cycle who are exciting, who are going to make people come out and vote. So today, I just want to respectfully request that the DNC does whatever it can to make sure that Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard, and every other candidate get a fair shot, speaking their mind, representing their views, and presenting their case to the American people. Because if not, don't ask me to vote against Donald Trump if you don't give me a reason to vote for somebody else. So with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.